used to think it was opportunity, maybe luck, maybe timing. But over the years, I discovered something different. Most people are not stopped by the world around them. They're stopped by the world within them. There's an invisible barrier that separates those who reach greatness from those who only talk about it. You can't see it, but you can feel it. It's not made of steel or stone. It's made of hesitation, doubt, and excuses. It's the quiet voice that says, not yet, not me, not possible. That voice doesn't shout. It whispers. It sounds reasonable. It tells you that you're not ready, to wait until things settle down. It says that someone like you could never pull that off. And the moment you believe it, the barrier grows stronger. Here's the truth. Greatness is not denied to anyone. It's only delayed by the choices we make when resistance shows up. The people who achieve extraordinary things feel the same resistance as everyone else. But they recognize it for what it is. They don't negotiate with it. They confront it. I remember a man who told me once that he wanted to change his life, but he was waiting for the perfect time. He said he'd start when the kids got older, when he paid off the bills, when work slowed down. You know what happened? Life never slowed down. The kids grew up, but new distractions took their place. The perfect time never came, and years later, he was still waiting. That's how the invisible barrier wins. It convinces you that waiting is wisdom. But waiting is just resistance dressed up as reason. You can't change your life by waiting for conditions to improve. You change your life when you decide to move anyway. The longer you listen to that inner hesitation, the stronger it becomes. The longer you ignore your potential, the quieter your confidence grows. So the first step toward greatness is awareness. Recognize that the real enemy is not your job, not the economy, not your upbringing. It's the quiet internal resistance that talks you out of action. Once you see it, it loses power. Every time you challenge that resistance, the wall weakens. Every time you take action despite it, you reclaim a little more of your own strength. The invisible barrier can't stop you. It can only persuade you to stop yourself. But once you see it clearly, once you refuse to let hesitation become habit, the path begins to open. That's when growth starts. That's when greatness begins to call your name. Here's what else can stop us from succeeding if we aren't careful. Excuses. It's the most common language in the world and the least profitable. Every excuse sounds reasonable at first. That's why people hold on to them. They make failure feel justified. They make inaction feel intelligent. But at the end of the day, excuses produce nothing. I've heard them all. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I don't know the right people. I wasn't born in the right place. It's the same song played in 1,000 keys. The words change, but the meaning never does. It's not my fault. Now here's the truth. Most never face. Every excuse trades potential for comfort. Each one is a small agreement you make with mediocrity. And the tragedy is that people defend their excuses more fiercely than they defend their dreams. The day you stop making excuses, you begin to make progress. Responsibility is the great turning point. The moment you take full ownership of your life, you take back your power. As long as the blame lives somewhere else, your future belongs to someone else. Excuses are easy because they sound logical. You can explain them to anyone, and they'll nod in agreement. Of course you couldn't start the business. Times are tough. Of course you can't get in shape. You're too busy. But logic doesn't build greatness. Logic just keeps you comfortable. Every time you say, I can't, you build a wall between yourself and your potential. And every time you replace it with, how can I, you open a door. One locks you in, the other sets you in motion. Think about it. The person who says, I can't, shuts down their mind. The person who asks, "How can I?" turns their mind into a workshop. One gives up control, the other gains it. I remember a young man who told me he couldn't afford to attend a seminar. He said it was too expensive. I asked him, compared to what? Because everything is expensive to the person who sees no value in change. But the moment he saw what that investment could unlock, he found a way. He sold a few things, rearranged his priorities, and made it happen. That one decision changed his entire future. Excuses create a fog around your potential. They keep you from seeing how much you're capable of. But once that fog clears, once you decide there will be no more justification, no more waiting, the horizon opens. I'm not saying it's easy to drop excuses. It's hard, because excuses protect your ego. They soften the sting of failure. But you can't grow and protect your ego at the same time. One must go. So the challenge is simple. From this day forward, catch yourself every time you hear the voice of limitation. Every time you start to say, "I can't," change it to, "How can I?" Watch how your thinking changes. Watch how your energy shifts. Because when justification ends, growth begins. The minute you stop explaining why you're not doing it and start figuring out how to do it, your whole world starts to move. Greatness begins the moment excuses end. Here's what else we have to watch out for. Fear, the guard at the gate of greatness. Everyone who's ever reached something worthwhile had to walk past it. Fear stands between what is and what could be. It doesn't stop you with chains. It stops you with questions. What if you fail? What if you lose everything? What if people laugh? What if it doesn't work? Fear is clever. It always sounds like it's protecting you. It says, be careful. It says, play it safe. And for the average person, that sounds wise, but fear's real goal is not safety. It's sameness. It keeps you exactly where you are. Fear protects the average, not the ambitious. It guards comfort, not progress. That's why greatness always demands courage. Not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. People ask, how do you get rid of fear? You don't. You outgrow it. You move despite it. You act your way past it. Fear feeds on inaction. The more you wait, the stronger it gets. The moment you take a step, it starts to shrink. Fear can't survive motion. It only thrives in hesitation. I remember speaking with a man who told me he was terrified to start a new business. He had the plan, the skills, the passion, but fear kept whispering that he might fail. I told him, you might. Failure is always possible, but so is success. The question isn't whether there's risk. The question is whether it's worth it. He took the step anyway. The first week was rough. The second week was worse. But by the third month, he was moving. By the first year, he was free. Fear was still there, but it was behind him now, not in front. That's the secret. You don't overcome fear by waiting until it disappears. You overcome it by deciding that progress matters more than comfort. Think about it. Fear and faith have the same function. They both imagine the future. One sees disaster, the other sees possibility. Both ask you to believe in something you cannot see. So why not choose the vision that moves you forward? When you let fear lead, life becomes smaller. You start saying no to opportunities, no to change, no to challenge. Eventually, you're left with a life that's safe and empty. But when you move in spite of fear, life expands. New doors open, new strength appears. Every act of courage becomes a brick in the foundation of greatness. Fear will never vanish completely. Even the strongest people feel it before a big decision, a big risk, a big leap. But they've learned something crucial. Action changes the equation. When fear says, what if I fall? Courage answers, What if I fly? You don't need to be fearless to be great. You just need to move forward while fear tags along. Because eventually, fear gets tired of chasing people who don't stop. So if fear has been guarding the gate of your next level, thank it for trying to protect you. Then walk past it anyway. Because on the other side of fear lies everything you've been asking for. Comfort, the silent trap. It doesn't shout. It doesn't threaten. It simply whispers, "You're doing fine." And that whisper is what keeps most people average. Comfort feels good. It's predictable. It asks nothing of you. But the moment you get too comfortable, you stop growing. You start repeating yesterday instead of creating tomorrow. Comfort is the slow death of potential. It doesn't kill suddenly, it drains gradually. I've seen people trade everything for comfort. They wanted security more than progress. They wanted ease more than excellence. They said, "I just want things to stay the way they are." But nothing in life stays the same. You're either growing or declining. Comfort says, "Good enough." Greatness says, "Not yet." Comfort builds fences around your potential. Greatness breaks them down. Now, there's nothing wrong with rest. Rest renews you. But rest and comfort are not the same. Rest is earned. Comfort is chosen. Rest restores strength. Comfort resists challenge. One prepares you for the next climb. The other convinces you the climb isn't necessary. I once knew a man who built a strong business from nothing. He worked hard, stayed disciplined, stayed sharp. But once he made it, once things got easy, he stopped learning. He said he deserved to relax. Within a few years, his business plateaued. Within a few more, it declined. Success had made him comfortable, and comfort made him careless. That's the pattern. When people get what they want, they stop doing what got them there. Comfort tells them the work is over, but greatness never arrives. It's maintained. Discomfort is not a sign of failure, it's a sign of growth. When you feel stretched, uncertain, challenged, that's life expanding you. Every muscle grows through resistance, every mind expands through challenge, every spirit strengthens through struggle. If you only move when it's easy, you'll never move far. Growth begins at the edge of comfort. That's where new strength forms. Some people say, "I just want peace." But peace doesn't come from avoiding challenge. It comes from mastering it. Peace is earned through progress, not through escape. So learn to stay a little uncomfortable. Keep reaching, keep learning, keep stretching. The moment you stop feeling challenged, you start losing ground. The goal is not ease, it's expansion, not comfort, it's capacity. Think about a tree. When it stops growing, it begins dying. It doesn't happen overnight, but decay sets in the moment growth ends. The same is true for us. So if you find yourself too comfortable, take it as a warning. That's not peace, it's stagnation. Stir things up, set a new goal, take on a bigger challenge. Discomfort is the price of growth. And the presence of discomfort is proof that you're still alive, still learning, still reaching toward greatness. Keep comfort close enough to rest, but far enough to keep you hungry. Because hunger is what keeps the fire alive. Discipline, the bridge from average to great. Nothing connects desire to result like discipline. Everyone wants success, but few are willing to build it one decision at a time. Discipline is what transforms intention into progress. You can dream all night, but without discipline, dreams stay on paper. You can set goals, make plans, and talk about change. But until discipline shows up, nothing moves. Discipline is doing what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Feelings are a poor master. Some days you'll feel motivated. Most days you won't. That's why discipline matters. It doesn't ask for permission from emotion. It acts on commitment. You don't drift into greatness. You don't stumble into success. You build it, choice by choice, day by day. Every act of discipline is a brick laid on the path to something better. Miss a day, you lose momentum. Stay consistent, and momentum starts working for you. People often ask how to stay motivated. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Motivation starts you. Discipline keeps you. Motivation is emotion-driven. Discipline is decision-driven. The person who depends on motivation will work only on good days. The person who depends on discipline will work until good days return. Discipline isn't punishment. It's preparation. It's what separates amateurs from professionals, wishers from achievers. When you keep promises to yourself, you build trust in your own word. That trust becomes confidence, and confidence builds strength. I remember years ago setting a simple rule for myself. Never miss the small things. Read the book, make the call, keep the appointment, because the small disciplines compound. Miss one, and nothing happens. Miss two, and nothing feels different. Miss three, and suddenly the habit is gone. Discipline is a silent builder. It doesn't make headlines. It doesn't ask for applause. But one day, the results speak for themselves, and people call it luck. It wasn't luck. It was consistency. The problem is that discipline is boring at first. It doesn't feel exciting to practice it. But boredom is the price of mastery. Anyone can act once. Greatness belongs to those who act repeatedly. Every day you choose discipline over distraction, you become stronger. Every time you say no to what's easy and yes to what's necessary, you add power to your character. That's how greatness is built, not in a single moment of glory, but in thousands of quiet moments of consistency. When it gets difficult, remember this. Discipline weighs ounces. Regret weighs tons. You can pay the small daily price of discipline now, or the heavy price of regret later. But the price must be paid either way. So keep the bridge strong. Guard it. Walk it every day. Because discipline doesn't just change what you do, it changes who you become. And who you become is the foundation of greatness. Vision, the pull that makes greatness possible. Without vision, effort fades. Without a picture of the future, the present loses purpose. Vision gives direction to discipline, meaning to struggle, and fuel to persistence. Most people work hard, but without a picture of where it's leading. They're busy, but not progressing. Activity without vision is motion without meaning. It feels productive, but goes nowhere. Greatness requires clarity. You must know what you're becoming. Not just what you're doing, what you're becoming. That picture must be so clear that it pulls you forward, even when you're tired. Because when the why is strong, the how becomes lighter. Vision turns effort into energy. It converts struggle into strategy. When you see something beyond the present, obstacles shrink. The road may be long, but direction keeps you steady. I remember a young man who told me he was exhausted from working so hard. He said, "I'm doing everything right, but I don't feel fulfilled." I asked him, "Working toward what?" He paused. He had no answer. That's the danger. When effort loses aim, it turns into exhaustion. Vision renews enthusiasm. It's the internal compass that says, "This is where I'm going." Once you see it clearly, you stop chasing everything else. Distractions lose power because purpose gives focus. You can't build greatness from confusion. You must define it. What does greatness mean to you? More freedom, more contribution, more mastery? Whatever it is, paint that picture in your mind until it becomes more real than your present reality. The mind moves toward what it visualizes most. If you keep seeing limitation, you'll live within it. If you keep seeing expansion, you'll grow into it. You must see yourself beyond your current limits and then act like that person now. Vision is not fantasy, it's foresight. It's the ability to live today guided by the person you intend to become. That future self should instruct your present actions. Ask yourself daily, what would the person I'm becoming do right now? Then do that. When vision is strong, circumstances lose control. You stop being a victim of conditions and start being a creator of direction. That's the difference between drifting and driving. Vision doesn't erase struggle, it gives it meaning. When you're tired, vision reminds you why it matters. When you're discouraged, vision reminds you where you're headed. And when you're tempted to quit, vision whispers, you're not done yet. Some people say, I'll believe it when I see it. Great people say, I'll see it until I believe it. They understand that imagination is the workshop of greatness. Everything visible began in the invisible. Every invention, every movement, every success. So build a vision that's worthy of your potential. Make it big enough to excite you and real enough to guide you. Let it pull you forward when willpower runs low. Because when vision leads, greatness follows. Greatness is not a gift, it's a decision. It begins the moment you stop making excuses, stop waiting for confidence, and decide to take responsibility for your direction in life. The day you choose ownership over blame, growth over comfort, and purpose over distraction, that's the day greatness begins. People often think greatness happens by chance, as if some are chosen and others are not. But greatness isn't granted, it's created. It's the result of deliberate choices made over and over again. You decide to rise earlier. You decide to stay later. You decide to study longer, listen deeper, and act sooner. You decide to face the fear instead of flee from it. You decide to keep discipline alive when motivation fades. You decide to follow your vision when others stop believing. That's how greatness is built. Decision layered upon decision until strength becomes character and character becomes destiny. The truth is, you're only one decision away from a different life. One decision to stop waiting. One decision to stop doubting. One decision to start doing. Ask yourself daily, what's stopping me? And am I still letting it? If it's excuses, drop them. They only protect weakness. If it's fear, face it. It loses power when confronted. If it's comfort, shake it off. You weren't designed to stay safe. You were designed to grow. You can't move forward and hold on to limitation at the same time. Something has to go. Let it be the version of yourself that settles. Let it be the voice that says, not yet. Every person reaches a point where they must decide who they're going to be. Not what they're going to do, who they're going to be. Because when the identity shifts, the results follow. The person who sees themselves as great begins to act accordingly. You don't wait for circumstances to crown you. You crown yourself with action. You earn the title by your habits, by your consistency, by your refusal to stop. Greatness doesn't require perfection. It requires direction. The direction of steady progress, guided by vision and fueled by discipline. The decision to become great isn't a one-time event. It's a daily renewal. Every morning you wake up and decide again. Because resistance doesn't disappear, it resets. And so must your resolve. When you finally understand that no one's coming to save you, no one's coming to hand you greatness, you stop waiting and start working. That's when power returns. Don't let another day go by waiting for conditions to be ideal. Conditions will never be ideal. The right time is when you decide it's right. So make the decision, not someday, today. Decide to become the person capable of everything you've imagined. Decide to live by vision, not by condition. Decide that fear will not lead, comfort will not rule, and excuses will not speak for you. Because the moment you decide with all your heart, the path to greatness clears. It's been waiting for you all along.